Savitri, Book 2, the Book of the Traveler of the Worlds, Canto 1, the World-Stair. All was found there the eunuch had dreamed and made, tinging with ceaseless rapture and surprise, and an opulent beauty of passionate difference. The recurring beat that moments God in time only was missing the soul timeless word that carries eternity in its lonely sound, the idea self luminous key to all ideas, the integer of the spirit's perfect sum that equates the unequal all to the equal one, the single sign interpreting every sign, the absolute index to the absolute, their world apart by its own innerness. In a mystical barrage of dynamic light, he saw a lone, immense, high curved world pile, erect like a mountain chariot of the gods, motionless under an inscrutable sky, as if from matter's plinth and viewless base to a top as viewless a curved sea of worlds climbing with foam made waves to the supreme, ascended towards breadths immeasurable. It hoped to soar into the ineffable's reign, 100 levels raised it to the unknown. So it towered up to heights intangible and disappeared in the hushed conscious vast, as climbs a storied temple tower to heaven, built by the aspiring soul of man to live near to this dream of the invisible. Infinity calls to it as it dreams and climbs. Its spire touches the apex of the world, mounting into great voiceless stillnesses. It marries the earth to screened eternities. Amid the many systems of the one made by an interpreting creative joy, alone it points us to our journey back out of our long self loss in nature's deeps. Planted on earth, it holds in it all realms. It is a brief compendium of the vast. This was the single stair to being's goal, a summary of the stages of the spirit, its copy of the cosmic hierarchies, refashioned in our secret air of self, a subtle pattern of the universe. It is within, below, without, above. Acting upon this visible nature's scheme, it wakens our earth matter's heavy dose to think and feel and to react to joy. It models in us our diviner parts, lifts mortal mind into a greater air, makes yearn this life of flesh to intangible aims, links the body's death with immortality's call out of the swoon of the inconscience. It labors towards a superconscient light. If earth were all and this were not in her, thought could not be, nor life delight's response. Only material forms could then be our guests, driven by an inanimate world force. Earth, by this golden superfluity, bore thinking man, and more than man shall bear. This higher scheme of being is our cause, and holds the key to our ascending fate. It calls out of our dense mortality, the conscious spirit nursed in matter's house, the living symbol of these conscious planes, its influences and godheads of the unseen, its unthought logic of realities acts arisen from the unspoken truth in things have fixed our inner lives, slow scaled degrees. Its steps are paces of the soul's return from the deep adventure of material birth, a ladder of delivering ascent, and rungs that nature climbs to deity. Once, in the visual of a deathless gaze, these grades had marked her giant downward plunge, the wide and prone leap of a godhead's fall. Our life is a holocaust of the Supreme. The great World Mother, by her sacrifice, has made her soul the body of our state, accepting sorrow and unconsciousness. Divinities lapse from its own splendors, hope, the many patterned ground of all we are. An idol of self is our mortality. Our earth is a fragment and a residue. Her power is packed with stuff of greater worlds and steeped in their color lustres, dimmed by her drowse. An atavism of higher births is hers. Her sleep is stirred by their buried memories, recalling the lost spheres from which they fell. Unsatisfied forces in her bosom move. They are the partners of her greater growing fate and her return to immortality. They consent to share her dome of birth and death. They kindle partial gleams of the all and drive her blind, laborious spirit to compose a meager image of the mighty whole. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Aravindaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Aravindaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Aravindaya.